Hi, everyone. We're going to get started in just a minute. All right, we are going to go ahead and get started. I want to welcome you all to the webinar today. We're excited that you're here. A few introductions before we get started. My name is Sheila Gold. I'm the Executive Director of Recruitment and Admissions at Tulane School of Professional Advancement. You're going to hear from some colleagues of mine, Dr. Lainey Dornier, who's the Program Director, and Amanda Hassan, who is the Director of our Academic Advising. So you'll be hearing from several of us today, and also Tyra Mitchell will be joining us as well. So we're excited to share with you a little bit about our programs, and then we will also, after we share some content, talk a little bit with you and answer some Q&As if you have any at the end of the program. You can enter your questions at the bottom of the screen. There's a chat function, and you can simply type in a question, and we will be monitoring those questions. At the end, we will refer to those and get back to you. So we look forward to hearing from you. All right, so just a little bit about Tulane School of Professional Advancement. We are the third oldest school at Tulane University. The reason that that is really important and that we're excited to share that with our prospective students is that it's important for you to know that Tulane, almost from its very beginning, was interested in educating working professionals. It's part of who we are as a school and part of our commitment to our community. So we find that professional and applied degrees and educating working professionals is what we do, and we've been doing it well for over 130 years. So that's an exciting piece that we find is important to share with our students as they learn more about our programs. So some of the pieces that we will share with you today during this webinar is our experience with online learning, how we are not new to the online learning arena, that we have skilled instructional designers that create engaging classes for students that are challenging and interactive. You don't simply just sit in front of a PowerPoint or read on your own, but you'll be engaged and challenged and have interactions in the online learning space. We'll talk a little bit about our programs and faculty. We also have a lot of student supports available for our students. That is because we're committed to our students being successful at SOPA. We're not just interested in enrolling students, we're interested in graduating students. We are committed to your success, and we want you to understand the many ways in which we do that. And it's also very important for us to let you know that we understand that students are knowledgeable consumers as they're looking for programs, and we're interested in sharing with you some of our flexible options and also our affordability options about SOPA. All right, so online learning can take many forms, but at Tulane School of Professional Advancement, we have our own in-house instructional designers who are some of the best in the field. They spend their time translating our education and our curricular goals into the online format. They work directly with our program directors like Lainey and Tyra, and also with the other instructors who are professionals in the field. They work directly with them to translate the educational experience so that you, the students, can have an engaging and interactive experience while learning the curriculum. So that means that they'll have interactive activities that you might take place in, that there are discussion boards, that you will interact with other students in the class, that you'll get to know your classmates and know your professors, and that you also will have scheduled meetings with your classmates, with your faculty, and with guest speakers. So it's not learning at a distance. It's not learning that is not interactive, that you have all of these opportunities built in to feel a sense of community as you take your classes. So just some facts about online learning at SOPA. So we talk about the fact that we've been doing this for a while, that we're not new to the online learning arena. So just to give you all a sense of that, in the last year at SOPA, over 1,300 students completed over 10,000 hours of online coursework. So that shows you right there the depth and the scale of online learning that we've been offering to students. We have 8 master's degrees, 11 graduate certificates, 4 post-baccalaureate certificates, which are certificates after you receive your bachelor's degree, and 320 courses that we offer all online. We have over 190 trained faculty members and instructors. That means that they're trained in online learning. They're not just used to teaching in a face-to-face and brick and mortar classroom, but they understand how to translate their curriculum to the online space. And so we find that that makes all the difference so that students are engaged in the online classroom. All right, so I'm gonna have Lainey, jump on in here. Dr. Dornier, would you like to take it away and tell us about your program?
Sure, and I'll tell you, those of you that are on here and listening, I've muted you so we don't have any background. And so if you have something or a question to ask, feel free to jump in and just unmute yourself and jump in, and we're happy to answer questions along the way. So the kinesiology is the study of human movement. And so here at Tulane University, our kinesiology graduate program studies human movement from 2 different perspectives. We look at wellness, and we also look at sports. So our programs are really geared toward people who are interested in working in the healthcare industry, or maybe even working in sports nutrition and fitness and exercise. Next slide. So our first degree is a Master of Professional Studies in Health and Wellness Management. And the Master of Professional Studies in Health and Wellness Management prepares students who might want to work in careers like it says here, a health promotions manager, a wellness director, employee health director, or even people that maybe are already working in the healthcare industry and they want to look at a different job within the healthcare industry. And maybe getting a master's degree would help their chances of getting these jobs that they're looking for. The health industry is really growing. It's a fascinating time to be in the healthcare industry, even with all the things going on currently. And even beyond that, the healthcare industry is one of the fastest growing industries in our country. So it's a great career choice for people who are looking for a new job. The Health and Wellness Management requires 10 online courses. 5 of those are core courses that everybody has to take. And then students can choose from elective courses. There are 8 courses and you can choose 5 elective courses. Just so you know, starting in the fall of 2020, we will be moving our Health and Wellness Management program to a stackable certificate program. So that you're aware of this and you're kind of familiar with it, we'll have 3 certificate programs in Health and Wellness Management. And they'll be in Health Leadership, will be one of them. Health Strategy and Financial Management will be a second one. And Corporate Wellness will be a third one. So if you're thinking of starting this program, look for that, because that will be changing in the fall also. We also have a master's degree in sports studies. The master's in sports studies is set up as a stackable certificate program. So we have 3 certificate programs: sport administration, sport coaching, and sports security. We have a new one that'll begin next year in sports medicine. And so students can choose any 2 of those certificate programs and complete the coursework. There's 4 courses in each certificate program. So if you choose 2 of those, that's 8 courses, plus you take an additional 2 courses in research methods and an internship. and that's the master's degree in sports studies. So this really prepares students for careers like in athletic, as an athletic director, a coaching position. You want to work in sport management in some way, or even for an athletic department and ticket sales, or the wide variety of jobs that are available in professional sports and even in semi-professional sports. We also offer post-baccalaureate certificates. These are for students that have completed their bachelor's degrees and want to come back and get a post-bac certificate. We have one in health and wellness. The health and wellness is a series of undergraduate courses that for people that have already earned a bachelor's degree that can give you a certificate in health and wellness. And then, as I mentioned, we do have these certificates that are part of the sports studies program in sport administration, sport security, and sport coaching. So students can come just to do the certificate. You may decide you don't really want a master's degree, but you want to kind of see what it's like to get a certificate and work at a graduate program. So you could choose one of these, finish the 4 courses in that certificate, and then make a decision at that point if you want to go on for the master's degree, or if that certificate really is the information that you need to help you in your career advancement. We have a lot of very highly qualified faculty. One of the advantages, let's see, there's a question, just a second. Are these certificates open to students who do not receive a bachelor's? The certificates are not open. Very good question. You do have to have a bachelor's degree to apply for the graduate certificates because they are graduate certificates. So you would have to have a bachelor's degree. We have as I was saying, we have a wide variety of very qualified faculty. One of the advantages of our program is that we hire adjunct faculty who are working in the field. So we get experts in the field that are teaching the courses in which they're experts. Tyra, who is on with us, might want to talk about that, but she's also one of our faculty who has a background in physical therapy. Irina Terashenko is a national champion pickleball player and actually is a tennis coach and has coached at very many different levels, and she teaches one of the courses in the sport coaching track. Sharvi Greer is a senior women's administrator here at Tulane, and she teaches several of our courses in the sport administration program. And I can't see the last one. Oh, this was the last person's covered up. Sorry, that's Vernon Dunn. And Vernon actually works in federal government relations, and so he teaches some of our courses in strategic planning. So you can see we have a wide variety of faculty. And Tyra, why don't you tell a little bit about the courses you teach and about your experiences in our graduate program and working with students in our program. There you go.
Thank you. Sorry, I was like, I'm not unmuted. So yeah, my background has been in the clinical side as being a physical therapist. So I do bring some of that experience into the classroom, the online virtual classroom. But I also have a pretty long career in leadership or executive healthcare leadership as well. So a lot of the leadership, health economics, health policy and administration, all those things are integral tools within our graduate program in health and wellness management that I try to impart a lot of my experiences being both on the clinical as well as the administrative side to give some real life, experiential conversations around what really has happened in my career. And I also draw from the depth of the students who are in the program. Many are already working in healthcare, or, honestly, all of us are patients within a healthcare system. So we have experience that we can share and actually learn from those. So our courses are really interactive. My goal is to make sure that people leave having a really solid understanding of what our healthcare system is, and also looking globally at healthcare systems around the world, and helping them, bring back some really usable skills within their current career or the career that they are looking to achieve.
Great, thank you, Tyra. Thanks for that information. And Miriam asked a good question that maybe I didn't answer. The question she was asking if you had to have a bachelor's degree in kinesiology to apply to one of our graduate programs. And this is a great question. We actually look at the whole individual when making a decision about entry into our graduate programs. And so we look at what the student has done, their experiences and their undergraduate program, and their experiences in real life. So we do not require that students have an undergraduate degree in kinesiology to enter our graduate programs. That being said, if you have no experience in sports or no experience in health and wellness, you may have to do a little background reading in order to catch up in some of the courses, but you certainly are able to do that. Our courses are entry-level master's degree courses. And so the expectation is that students will be able to read and learn in each of these areas without a background in kinesiology. So thank you for that question. All right, next slide. All right, I'll turn it over to Sheila.
I can take this one. So at SOPA, we have a wide variety of student support services that are available to our students. We have an excellent team of academic advisors. We have a career advisor, and we work very closely with all of our faculty that we have on staff, and with the program directors. And so each academic advisor is paired with a program director at SOPA to make sure that your academic goals are met. Our career advisor does many webinars, and she works with students on resumes, cover letters, how to do successful job searches, making sure that what you are currently doing in terms of your program match with what you're searching for in terms of jobs once you're ready to start thinking about graduation. In addition to the host of team members in terms of staff, you also have a great connection with your peers. You actually learn not only from your faculty in the classroom, but you're also learning from your peers. Just as the question that Dr. Donia just answered, you know, if you don't have any experience in any of these related fields, you may have some peers that do, and learning from your peers can be very, can be something that is beneficial as well. In addition, you'll also have a host of connections to Tulane alumni, and that is how our career counselor can connect you to those alumni as well. So looking at this as from a holistic point of view and how we can help you reach your goals together. Next slide. So in addition to the courses that you'll be taking, there's also some things called credit for prior learning. If you have experience, in-depth experience in these related areas, you can take up to 6 credits in a portfolio and apply that towards your master's degree. You would take a prep class first, and that will prepare you for the portfolio experience. And then you will actually work with a faculty one-on-one to make sure that your portfolio matches up directly with the courses that you are trying to apply for credit. And so again, this is more like life experience. It's a bit different from transfer credit, but it is treated as transfer credit. So if you have more questions about credit for prior learning, you can contact me and I can speak more about that with you.
All right, thanks, Amanda. So at the beginning of the webinar, I spoke briefly about the fact that we are very intentional about being as affordable as we can, because we understand that students are savvy consumers and that you all have lots of other responsibilities that you're juggling as adult learners. So our tuition rate for the summer semester, which we are enrolling for now, our application is open until May 15th. Our tuition rate is $1,039 per credit hour. There will be a slight increase for the fall, which is $1,078 per credit hour. So a piece that I want to add on to that that's not on this slide is we are very intentional about keeping our fees very low. So for those of you that are looking at multiple schools and kind of comparing rates, there's the tuition rate, but then there's also the fees. Oftentimes, fees will add up and can almost double the price of a semester. We are not one of those schools. We have very nominal fees per semester, so the majority of what you're paying for is going to be that $1,039 per credit hour. So please keep that in mind when comparing rates. We also have a financial aid office, and we encourage all of our students who are interested in aid to fill out the FAFSA. When you start filling out your application for admission, the FAFSA is the Federal Form for Financial Aid. It can be found on the FAFSA website. It can also be found on Tulane's website, and it does take several weeks to complete that process. So we ask students to do both at the same time so that you give yourself enough lead time to get those forms filled out. But Tulane does work with students to offer aid to those who are eligible. We also offer federal grants and loans. In addition to being a yellow ribbon school, we are military friendly. We offer 20% discounts on tuition to current military and veterans. And if those of you who are in Orleans Parish and are current parish employees, we additionally offer some credits to those, some tuition credits to those employees as well. And then Amanda had also mentioned the 6 hours for work and life experience. That essentially, if you get credits for up to those 6 hours, that is also essentially a discount, because that's 6 hours of coursework that you will not have to take. So our application process is very simple, and that is on purpose. I will walk you through it right now, but I also always like to share with prospective students in webinars. If for any reason during the application process you have a question, do not hesitate to email us or to call us. We are always here to help students walk through the application process, and we are happy to answer any questions that you might have. As part of our application, you will have to pay a $50 application fee. However, as our thank you for attending this webinar, we do waive that fee. That fee waiver is an automated process. So you all should fill out your application, submit it. The next step is an application fee process, and it should automatically get waived. If for some reason, when you submit your application, if the fee waiver isn't automatically applied, absolutely email us and say, I attended your webinar, I need my fee waiver. It takes us about 1.5 minutes on the back end to go ahead and apply that fee, and you should not miss out on getting that fee waiver. We really do want to thank you for spending your time in the middle of the day with us, but it should happen automatically. We will also need to have an image of a valid ID, a valid government issued ID. For most students, that's as simple as taking a picture on your phone of your current driver's license or a passport and uploading it to the application portal. And we will need transcripts from any school from which you have received college credits and a degree. So for most people, those transcripts can be sent electronically, and we receive those in 24 to 48 hours. It's a very quick process. You request them from the registrar's office from the school from which you've received credits and degrees, and we can use those for your application process. From time to time, they will need to be mailed by the U.S. Postal Service, and because we are all working remotely, we can still receive those, but there is a slight delay in our receiving mailed transcripts. Okay, our application deadlines are for the following 3 entry points. We enroll students every semester: summer, the traditional fall entry point, which you all are probably most aware of, and then a spring entry point. So our application deadline for the summer is May 15th. So you still have time to get in your application if you'd like to start this summer. If you're interested in starting in the fall, our application deadline is August 15th. And if you would prefer to start in the spring, which is in January 1st is our deadline. All right, so we would like to thank you for spending your time with us today, and we are available for the next few minutes should anybody have any questions. Just enter those in the chat function, and we will stay in the webinar room for a minute or two more. If we don't see any questions popping up, let's see, do we see?
Also, feel free to unmute yourself and ask them if you don't want to type them in, or some people are on their phone and that's more difficult to do. So you can certainly unmute yourself and ask questions, and we're happy to answer them.
We also are always available. Dr. Dornier's contact information is on the screen right now. And then you can always reach out to us at asksopa@tulane.edu. My email address is S like Sheila Gold, G-O-L-D, S Gold. It's now in the chat function. AskSOPA@tulane.edu is sort of our general admissions email, and sgold is my direct email. We love hearing from students. I always say in our general admissions webinars that I'm on that I philosophically believe that we begin our relationships with our students starting in the admission process. So we're a relationship-driven school. We love getting to know our students. We love working with our students and getting to know them when they become our alumni and staying in contact with them. And that begins in the admission process. So the best way we get to know you is by you reaching out and asking us questions and opening up a dialogue. So never feel afraid to reach out. It's fun for us to get to know our prospective students, and we find it to be a pleasure. So not seeing any questions in the chat function, I just want to say thank you to those of you who attended today. Submit those applications, get your $50 waiver, and we certainly hope that we will be welcoming you to SOPA soon. So thank you very much and have a great rest of your day.